So the other day I was hanging out with a friend of mine and we were talking about how I had just recently refinanced my property, and we basically ran the numbers on my owner-occupied real estate investment and came to the conclusion that I am officially getting paid to live in my house. And of course, he thought that was a pretty interesting video idea, so I decided I would make a video on this explaining a little bit about house hacking and what I am doing to essentially get paid to live in my house rather than paying to live in my house instead. So the first thing we have to understand here is, what is it that most people do? Well, number one, they either go out there and they rent somewhere where they live, or number two, they end up buying a single family home. So we'll just start off over here. I'm just going to draw a really bad drawing of a house just to indicate, what it is that most people are doing. So they go out there and they buy a single family house, and let's say maybe their mortgage is around, $1,800 per month on average, something like that, for a decent home, depending on how much money that you spend. Well, the problem with that single family house is that there is absolutely zero income potential from that home because you're the only one who can live there. Second of all, because of that reason, there are no tax benefits or write-offs or anything like that associated with that home. That is why most people would say a single family residence like this is a total liability, meaning it takes money out of your pocket. Now, what I did instead is I bought a multi-family property where I essentially live in the main unit. So I'm just going to draw a similar drawing here, but we're going to pretend, that it's a 3-unit property, something like this. Obviously, it's a much bigger property than a single family home, and it cost me more money in terms of what I paid for it. So here's the difference here, guys. My property has a mortgage right now, since I just refinanced, of $2,450 per month. So on the surface, when you look at this, you'd say, okay, the single family house has, a mortgage of $1,800. Why would you want to have a larger mortgage for a multifamily property? Well, here's where things get interesting. I live in the main house and I rent out the other 2 apartments, and there's also a cottage on the property which I remodeled, and then I am now renting that out to somebody as well. So now I actually have 3 units on this property that are producing income. So the first apartment that I have here is the larger one that rents out for $975 per month. The second apartment is a smaller one which I rent out for $600 per month. And then the cottage, I actually just rented out to my brother. I don't charge him a heck of a lot of money, and I'm going to be renting that out to him for $500 per month. Now, I live in the main unit. Obviously, I don't get any rental income from that because I don't pay myself to rent it. But when we take the rental income and we subtract that from my mortgage, we get this number right here. And that right there is $375 per month, which is essentially what I am paying in terms of the mortgage. Now, I know what you're saying to yourself. You're probably wondering, wait a second, how am I getting paid to live in my house if I'm paying $375 per month? Well, there's a number of different reasons here. We're not even going to get into the appreciation of the value of the property or the tax benefits. We're simply going to talk about something called principal paydown, which essentially means as I am paying this mortgage, I am paying down principal and owning a larger and larger chunk of my property. So right now, I just refinanced. I'm at the very beginning of my loan. So most of my money is going towards interest, with a very small amount going to principal. But right now, about $600 per month of that mortgage payment goes towards the principal, which is essentially going to be money back in my pocket if I decide to refinance down the road and pull money out, or if I eventually sell this property. So even though I am paying $375 per month of this mortgage, $600 per month is being paid down by the rental income. So if you go ahead and do the math on that, guys, that means that after my principal pay down, I'm actually getting paid $225 per month to live in my house. And when you compare that to basically having this massive liability costing you $1,800 per month or more if you have a larger mortgage, that's a heck of a lot of a better deal in my opinion, depending on your financial situation. But anyways, guys, I thought this would be a cool visual example, a quick and easy video. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. If you haven't seen me before, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell for future notifications, and I will see you guys in the next video.